What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In today's video, we are jumping into Batman issue 149. And this is going to be the final issue of Batman before we jump into Absolute Power. With issue 150, it's going to be a tie-in to Absolute Power. And this one's quite interesting. As you can tell from the title, Batman gets his money back. In fact, in this issue, Chip Zdarsky really decides that he's gonna reverse a lot of the things that we have seen him do over his run. Now, I know that I'm getting this video out a little bit late, and unfortunately, it's gonna be the only video I can get out today. But we will be getting into the new Nightwing Fallen Grayson that's going on. It's actually a lot of fun, finally dealing with Heartless. And man, Heartless has a diabolical plan. So make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel. Make sure that you like this video. And with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so pretty much at this point, the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh has been taken down. He is no longer an issue, no longer a problem, but we still have the clone. This is a clone of Bruce Wayne, out here in the world having no guidance whatsoever, really confused on his own existence. Being Bruce Wayne, he finds himself going back to Crime Alley, to dealing with the crime that is in Gotham. It's almost like it's a default setting, but Batman has come here to confront him, and this young clone, he is so broken up because Zur was the only thing he had. It was the closest thing he had to a father. Even though he has all the memories of Bruce, that doesn't change that his existence makes him feel like Zur is his father. That Zur did this to him. Now he's able to get his clone really under control and he brings him back home. And after having him under some medical surveillance and everything else, it's kind of like a fog is lifting off of him. But he's still having issues making sense of everything going on in his head. Zur had given him all of Bruce's memories, but he partitioned them. So all the memories that were focusing on skill acquisition, that was at the forefront. But there were other key memories, ones to keep him in line with the mission, like Crime Alley. But these partitions are weakening. This is a symptom of something else. Zur accelerated his aging and get him really ready for combat fighting, but he never put anything in place to stop it. And he already knows this. He can tell by the way that his body is growing. It won't be very long before he finds himself on his deathbed. But Batman is going to do everything he can to help him, to try to find a way to at least slow or halt this process if they can. But this is where they are interrupted by Damian. Damian not really sure how he feels about this clone, referring to it more than nothing than a collection of DNA, one that did try to kill him. But he lets his father know that there is simply too much going on. You can't be wasting your time holding some clone's hand. That they may have stopped Zur, but the military took the body. They took the body of Failsafe. Damian knows that the #1 priority is getting that thing back. But Batman says that the Zur programming had been wiped away from Failsafe's body. That they'll get it back, but it's not an imminent danger. With no help from his father, Damian says that he's gonna go on, he's gonna figure this out, he's gonna take all of this down and get that robot back. And so as the time passes by, we can see this Bruce, the clone, is aging up. He's become the same age as Batman right now, or at least close to. But this is when the clone also recognizes that Bruce is missing a hand. Seeing this hand missing, it really is just a glimpse of mortality. Both of them are coming to terms with what is happening here, and that is aging. Now, Batman may not be aging like his clone is, but that doesn't mean that the years haven't built up on him. And they all thought that maybe Failsafe was the end game. The clone thinking, is this really how it ends? The body simply slows down. It just eventually gives out. And with Batman doing his experimentation, he simply can't get it. He is unable to stop the aging acceleration in the clone. The problem is his lack of equipment. But he has drained most of his financial reserves. He's thinking that maybe he can reach out to someone like Mr. Terrific, Ted Kord, somebody that might be able to help him out. As Bruce thinks on a way to try and fix this, that there has to be a way to fix it. Something that Zur knew, something locked away in memories. This is when he thinks back and he finds himself back at the Wayne building. He has made his way all the way to the top floor. And for Bruce, it finally all makes sense. He just needed to remember and focus. Zur-En'rh's base, his vehicles, his technology, all separate from Bruce. And Zur had money. In fact, he had a little over $3 billion. All of that money now belongs to Bruce Wayne. And so the playboy billionaire is that yet again. While Bruce heads off and he tries to get back and let them know that he's got this money, he has the resources, he has the capability to heal him up. By the time he gets there, we see that the clone has already aged up some more. But more than that, he cut off his own hand. He tells Bruce that right now he's dying. In a couple of weeks, his hand wouldn't have even been worth saving. So he tells him, consider this a trade. If you do end up healing my body up, losing a hand would be more than worth it. And this is how Bruce Wayne no longer has a mechanical hand. The logic behind this, I guess, is that they're just going to put it onto his other hand, do some medical magic, and just like that, it's fixed, never lost a hand. But as the weeks pass by, we pick up with the clone on his deathbed, apologizing to really letting Bruce know that he's sorry that he has to watch him die, that it's gotta be weird and awkward to watch yourself die. Knowing that the time is nearing, he tells Bruce to take him outside. The clone wants to see the sunset, to see the manor, to see the graves. Back at the old manor, nothing more than a shell of what it once was, now belonging to Savage. But as the old man passes away, we pick up later that evening. The Dark Knight is out there. The bat signal has been put up into the air by Savage. Now Batman does show up, and Savage starts going off, trying to put Batman into his pocket. Batman walks up and he straight up breaks the spotlight, and then he decks Savage in the face. And he lets him know that I may not be able to do it right this second, but I know you're up to something. I know you got some sinister plans. I'm gonna find out, and when I do, I'm taking you down. And when it comes to the manor, you can keep the house, because Bruce has some plans. As we pick up later that day, we have the Bat family arriving on scene. They're arriving at this beat-up old mansion. Everyone trying to figure out what the heck Bruce is up to, wondering why Batman is starting a new project. This is no new project, this is a home. The Low Moor Mansion. The Joker had taken it over and caused major damage, so the family was very eager to sell. A lot of the buildings in the area were also up for sale. So what Bruce is planning to do is take old Gotham, or at least a lot of the buildings that are abandoned over the years, and revitalize them. He's going to start converting the surrounding blocks into affordable housing, space for charities. And at the center of all of this is this mansion, what Bruce has dubbed Pennyworth Manor. His new home, and hopefully the home for the rest of the Bat family. And he knows that they all have their own lives, they're doing their own thing, some of them are in Bloodhaven, so on and so forth. He's letting them all know that there is always going to be a room for you in this house, that the doors will always be open, that they are no army, they are a family. And of course, you know he's got plans of building a Bat cave, or at least something of that nature. Now we pick up a little bit later on and we have Bruce that is headed off to bury a body, to bury the body of his clone. This is where he is met by Selina Kyle. This is an opportunity for the two of them to really kind of catch up. After Selina's able to break the ice, Bruce goes ahead and he apologizes for everything that he's done, really just being a shoulder to lean on for one another, and seeing that no matter what has happened in their past, these two always seem to cross paths. The chemistry is undeniable, and neither of them are ever able to stay away for long. But for Bruce, this is a brand new start. And before we close this one out, there is a little bit of a preview from Absolute Power. We have Superman that is showing up to a burglary. These guys appear to get ready to steal something. The Man of Steel standing before them, letting them know that this is not the right thing to do. But one of these guys opens fire. He shoots Superman, and though any other day, these would have bounced right off of him. But on this day, they go right through him. As he looks at the blood that is now on his hand and dripping down his chest, the Man of Steel falls from the heavens. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Alright, so this is really Chip Zdarsky closing out a lot of his loose ends that he has done. I'm not sure if he's going to be leaving the book soon or not, but it kind of has that feel to it. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't do much research into if he is going to be leaving the book. I just know that he had plans to be on the book at least until 2025. That was the last I read anyway. But it feels that way because he's closing out a lot of loose ends that he had started, a year or 2 years ago. Like him not having any money. In one single issue, it's like, oh yeah, by the way, Batman of Zur-En-Arrh, he had money. It was probably my money the whole time that Zur stole from me, or he just happened to have $3 billion stashed away. And so now Batman is yet again a billionaire with $3 billion in the blink of an eye. Not only that, not only did homie win the freaking lottery, but there just so happens to be a clone of him that accelerates at an age that allows him to get to the age of Bruce Wayne. Then he decides to cut off his hand so that he can have that hand. This way, closing out the loophole that Batman has a bionic hand. If I'm being honest, I'm not really a fan of the way that was done. It feels like a kind of a cop-out. You could have done a lot more with the Batman clone. You could have explored that a lot more. But obviously, you wanted to close out that storyline. And it just feels relatively rushed. And the fact that they're just like, besides Damian's the only one's like, yo, Failsafe's body's out there. We may have wiped the programming. That doesn't mean that someone can't grab it and reprogram it to something of their choosing, which almost 100% is what Amanda Waller is gonna be doing. They could have handled this whole situation. They wouldn't have had Failsafe. Amanda Waller wouldn't have it at her disposal had Batman decided to handle that situation and not focus so much on dealing with the clone situation. Because this comic takes course over the course of weeks. So it's not like it's a small little time frame. But yeah, this one's really just closing out the loose ends. Everything that he has done to Batman, he is now reversed and Batman is back to exactly as we know him, except this time he's got a different mansion. Absolute power is definitely building up. They're promoting it like freaking crazy. We are seeing it all over the place. I'm kind of excited for it. I'm hoping that this is the last of Amanda Waller, at least for the next couple of years. Because if she's not gone after this, man, that's gonna be disappointing. After everything that she has done over the last 4 or 5 years, it's time we move on to somebody bigger out there. Somebody different than Amanda Waller constantly being the one as the main big bad guy villain, as the antagonist. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. If you want to get caught up on everything that has been going on with the Batman comics, go ahead, check out the link in my description, as well as the top of this video. It is going to get you completely caught up on everything that has been going on with this series. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you're unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.